There are some mistakes that we make that actually makes our men, or we find our men distancing themselves from us. And then when we see that, we feel okay, they don't love us, like they are going out with another person. It's like you tend to have all sorts of things going through your mind. But then you don't know that there are some mistakes you're making that is letting the person actually distance himself from you. So today I am here to talk for my men. Yes. If you know me, you know I always support the men, yes, because I'm a man person. I don't know how you're going to put it, but then yeah, that is me. So we are going to talk about some mistakes that we women, yes, make, that we find our partners, our boyfriends, our spouses distancing themselves from us. But then when we see that, we feel that, oh, okay, it's like they're going out with another person. That is when you find people going to fight with other. You find a lady actually fighting with another lady. You do like all that, which is so not nice. The name is Lami. This is Caravan of Love, and you're watching City Star TV. When you see this girl in her seat, yes, it is all about relationship talk, dating, sex, whatever story you want me to talk about. I always say, just hit me up on the comment section. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll do justice to it for you. You can also follow us on our social media handles. Just put down the story, put down the anything, and then we'll do justice to it for you. So today, quick to what we are going to talk about: 5 mistakes that make him emotionally distant. 5 mistakes that we do, that we women do, that make the men emotionally distant from us. Number 1 is you over explain your feelings. The more you try to convince him, the more he pulls away from you. Like, yes, we know you love him, you cannot stay without him. He's your life, he's the air that you breathe. He's the sugar in your porridge. He's the oh is it bread spread or whatever in your bread. He's your milk in your tea. We know all that. But then it's don't over explain your feelings to your partner. It's like, as a essay troll, you're writing an essay and then you have to write like 1,500 words. Then you find yourself writing 2,500 words. So if there are so many ways to tell your partner you love your partner, which is another story for another day. I'll come and tell you. Instead of opening your mouth to say you love your partner, there are so many ways that you can do, or you can say it that your partner is going to know this is what you're trying to say. So there are so many ways that you are going to explain your feelings to your partner. But then when you're doing it, don't overdo it, because the more you overdo it, the more your partner tends to distance himself away from you. It's like, why a kakra? Just let it be there. Number 2, you always initiate conversations. If he is interested, he will make an effort. If a guy really loves you, you don't really have to force yourself to do anything. You don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to beg for love. You don't have to beg for him to actually make a little effort when it comes to you. He knows the time you wake up. He knows what you take for breakfast. He knows the things you love. He knows the food you eat. He knows the sweets that, okay, so I know if I get this type of sweet for my babe, she likes it. He knows even when you're in your period, he knows when it's starting, he knows when it's ending, he knows when to get you bored. Like, he knows that little things about you that you don't have to put in too much work. It's not every day that you have to initiate a conversation. But then when you find yourself always initiating a conversation between you and your partner, know that he's no more there with you. But then if he can start a conversation with someone, and then like the conversation flows like that, but then when it comes to you, you have to actually force it to happen, my darling, then know that you are alone in the relationship. But then if he puts in the effort, How nice it is, like how nice, like super nice, when you find out that your partner actually puts in the effort to make you feel loved. We ladies, there are some ladies that when you find out that your partner puts in the effort to make you feel comfortable, now Jimmy, Sebe, now Jimmy. It's like you take advantage of the fact that he's making it so easy for you. That is when, like, Jimmy is sad, then you just lose the person. When you find your partner putting in the effort, when you find him actually putting in the effort for you to feel okay, for not to beg for anything, or like does everything like for you so you feel comfortable, do not take that person for granted. But here lies the case, you are always initiating things, you have to force him to do stuff, then please know that you're alone in the relationship. So know the difference and know peace. If he is doing it for you, making you feel comfortable, don't fool. Don't think he is a fool. No, he's not. He just wants you to be comfortable. But then if you are the one always initiating it, then know that you are the only person in the relationship. As I said, know the difference. On the list, you tolerate inconsistency. If he only shows up when it is convenient for him, know that you are just an option. I always say this. I sometimes put it on my status, my Snap story, and all that. The moment you see me to be an option, don't choose me. Like that very moment that you have to choose between myself and someone, just don't choose me, because I am not literally dating a hotspot that you have to hotspot everybody. If it is not me, then that is it. So if he only comes or he only shows up when it is convenient for him, then my dear, know that you are the only person in the relationship. Because it has to be convenient for both of you. It takes two to tango, my baby. It doesn't take only one person to tango. So if you are just passing and you saw this beautiful face and you decided to stop and listen to what I'm saying, we are talking about 5 mistakes that we women make that gets our men emotionally distant. So 5 mistakes that make him emotionally distant. I said number 1 is you over explain your feelings. Number 2, you always initiate conversation between the two of you. Number 3 is you tolerate inconsistency. If your partner is inconsistent with you, like when he needs something from you, that is when he shows up. It's like you don't literally need to beg for anything, as I said in point number 2. Number 4 is you let him set the pace. When I say you let your partner set the pace, all I'm trying to say is letting a guy set a pace, which means allowing him to take the lead in determining the speed and progression of your relationship. Example is how often you see each other, how quickly you move from one stage of the relationship to the next, how intimate you become, how much time and energy you invest in the relationship. When you let him set the pace, you let him determine everything about the relationship. I'm not saying it's something bad letting your partner set the pace. Know this. There is nothing wrong with letting your partner set the pace. But then when it becomes too much, like don't like once in a while you let him set the pace. Yes, a man values what he has to work for. So don't say that mentality where if I don't do it, like he's going to get it from another person. My dear, like put yourself in that place. Like Charlie trusted you. Like, yes, let him work. Like, he loves it when he works for something. He loves it when he's working. Like, yeah. Like, you make him feel like that manly vibe. But my dear, don't overdo it. So last on the list is you make him your priority too soon. So you're talking about, yes, 5 mistakes that make him emotionally distant. Number one, you over explain your feelings. Number two, you always initiate conversations. Number three, you tolerate inconsistency. Number four, you let him set the pace. Number five, which is last on the list, you make him your priority too soon. The second he feels he is your 100%, he stops chasing. The second that he, like, you make him, he notices that you cannot breathe without him, you cannot stay without him, you cannot go a day without him, he stops chasing because, like, what he's looking for, he has already gotten it. I know you'll be thinking about sex. No, there are some people that they feel like even after having the sex with you, like they still vibe with you and all that. That scene between you and him is there. Both of you are there. It is normal. You are living your lives. You're doing your stuff. But there are some guys that truthfully, they come to you because they want the sex. And then after getting the sex from you, that is it. So know these two things. There are some men that they still have sex with you and then they still vibe with you. But then there are some men that they come in for the sex and that's it. So if you have someone that have the sex with you and then is still vibing with you, know that you are in safe hands. But then if you have someone that is just coming in for the sex and then that is it, know that you are there. Oh dear, so the moment he finds out that, like, he's your 100%, that is where the problem is. So, my ladies, I know, yes, there are some mistakes that I didn't mention, but for now, I've given you 5 mistakes that if you know this is what you're doing, I beg, start correcting it before your man emotionally distance himself from you. So, you can follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X. You can follow us on all. You can put down your questions, you can put down your stories, and then we'll do justice to it for you. But please don't forget to also follow us on our YouTube page. Make sure you hit the button so anytime we post a video, you'll be part of that big family to get the video. Tell a friend to tell another friend that Caravan of Love is here to stay. The name is Lomi and you're watching City Star TV. We out.